working? Is it working? Are we live? What are we doing? Trying out some new equipment. Let me know if this bad boy is working. Let's go. Let's go. Quick pop-up shop. Trying out some new equipment here. King is not who you need badly. You need somebody beyond that. Let's go on. Let's go. Let me know if this new equipment right here is working. Let me know. Trying some new equipment out. Just want to see if this bad boy is working. I don't have long today. How's it going? Sounds good, loud and clear. What about the actual picture itself, though? Old equipment sounds better. In which way? The audio equipment is not new. You need me to turn it up some? What about that? There you go. New camera. Yep. Great quality picture and sound. What do these people be talking about, man? Some of these people would just be tripping, man. Yes, sir. New equipment. Let's go. Am I going to a playoff game in the high school? Not doing it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Music video quality. There we go, baby. I'm telling you, man. I got to stay a step ahead of people. It's like portrait mode on iPhone. What's that mean? That's hard. That sounds hard. Is it hard? Is a portrait mode hard? I wouldn't know. Splendor hard? Oh, okay. No, man, I don't care about high school football like that. Even though I work in the business or whatever like that, I'll catch the film or whatever like that and go like that. Unless I just have to actually go, I don't know. Not 4K. Not 4K. Grown-ass men sitting up at high school football games, not me. I'm in the business. They make me go there when I worked at Rivals and stuff like that. Other than that, if I could just get the film itself to break down the kids, I would do that. All right, y'all. So let's go. Let's talk some football right quick. I'm being real this time. I don't have long. I gotta go and do some stuff. So it is what it is. Did I raise the camera angle a bit? It's a different camera. UGA switching up their old this offseason? No, I don't think they'll switch up their old. This is suggestion stuff, right? So, all right. So for you Georgia people, talking about Kendal Briles, I always say that. This time I have to be for real though. I know I always say that, but I do have to get it popping. They already have Carson Beck. What does that mean? What does them already having some true freshman quarterback mean? You acting like they already have Trevor Lawrence or somebody. Who the hell is Carson Beck? Is he even a top 100 player? Like, what are we doing? What's up, Julian? Is anybody wiping their feet? You know I can't see it. Wipe your feet. Hit the thumbs up button at the very least, though. But Mac Edge said it's more focused on you than the background, which I like. All right, Mac Edge, I'm gonna let that one slide right there, baby. You know what I'm saying? We get it down right here with the splendor, baby. That might be a little splendor. Where do you think Chandler Morris is going? I don't know where Chandler Morris is going, man. These are some weird questions on a live stream. Briles is okay as an offensive coordinator. All right, so if he's okay as an offensive coordinator, then what is someone like James Coley? I'll hang up and listen. If he's okay as an offensive coordinator, then what the hell is James Coley? Your man, Kendal Briles, has done more with less. James Coley has theoretically done less with more at multiple stops, right? Miami and Georgia. Nobody was saying save James Coley when he got ran out of town in Miami when Al Golden left. They weren't like, we got to keep James Coley, right? So it wasn't like he automatically got another offensive coordinator job anyway, right? So your man Kendal Briles will never be out of work. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to snatch up a Kendal Briles. Why not the University of Georgia? And the reason why I say that is because Kendal Briles is a spread to run guy. So Coach Smart may have trouble with somebody just with pure spread to pass elements, but somebody who's spreading the run, right, like him or Rich Rodriguez or somebody like that, that has to me, if I'm a Coach Smart, I can still keep my football team tough. These guys are still running a lot of the same run principles. They're just doing it from a variety of different ways and being able to spread out a defense and to be able to run out of lighter personnel packages, whether it be queen personnel or whatever. So that, to me, that's a way that could be kind of a middle ground right there, right, for someone like Coach Smart. What's up, Louisiana Banks? Oklahoma could use an offensive coordinator. Riley can't call plays forever. Shit, it's Sean Payton. Who called the plays for Sean Payton? Right? So it's been 13, 14 years, and Sean Payton's in the New Orleans Saints still calling plays. He can call plays forever if he's good at it, which he is. Briles and King. Yeah, all right, yeah. So I forgot about the De'Aaron King package, right? So we saw De'Aaron King, right? This year, I believe before he got injured, whatever like that, he looked pretty decent, but he looked phenomenal the previous year with Kendal Briles as the offensive coordinator. And go look at the numbers that they put up, right? Something like 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3,000 yards or something like that. Another 700-800 yards on the ground or something like that. It was something crazy, man. This dude said, "Is Tarik even going to UGA?" What the fuck are we talking about, bro? This is not breaking news or anything like that. This is just a football discussion. We don't know where this kid is going. I have no clue where this dude is going. I'm just saying that get out the screen, bro. Some people just shouldn't be allowed in on the internet. Murf, I've been saying I don't see much development from Georgia staff for all that talent they have. Do you think that's accurate, or are they getting the most out of their players? You have not been watching Top Billin, I guess, right? Definitely have not getting the most out. I always talk about player development, and I think I see a lack of that with Georgia. But they have so many great players, right, that some of these guys are going to hit no matter what. No matter where they go, they're going to be good players. So, but I always think about like a guy like a Robert Bill, right, a 5-star cat like that. At least he was on ESPN. What they were going to get out of a Walter Grant. Like some of these guys to me, you know what I'm saying, don't quite development. And then Amir Speed and Latavius Brini and D'Angelo Gibbs and maybe a Tommy Bush, although he was injured, whatever. Man, we could just, the list goes on. Trey Blunt, the list goes on and on of a lot of talented players that I know have some really good talent that if they were probably somewhere else that they would be doing pretty good. Nate McBride and all these guys. So I don't know what to tell you. You heard Bill going to Tennessee. I probably wouldn't care where Robert Bill goes. I'm not sure that you should be excited about wherever he goes, man. He could possibly be a lost cause. Murf, you will be breaking out multiple vids of Pickens next year. He is definitely next level talent if he does not get wasted at UGA. I've already done stuff on George Pickens, so I'm never the one to have to react to anything. I try to get ahead of the story. Murf, do you think Georgia will get some grad transfer on offense and defense? I have no clue what Georgia's going to do in that. Should they get grad transfers? Yeah, I already said it 50 million times. And this is one that we're talking about, right? With the De'Aaron King kid, that would be cool right there. My choice would be Chase Bryce if you were going to run with a James Coley. But if you were going to switch some shit up, why not try someone like a De'Aaron King for a year? Murf just got on, wiped his feet. How long I've been on? Not that long. How long have I been on? Let me see. 9 minutes. Does UF catch UGA next year? What do you mean by catching them? It's not like UGA is much further along than Florida as it is right now. So I think those two teams are very much on each other's level as it is. How do I think Pittman will do? Man, I'm not sure. I got to see who Pittman hires, right, to really know how he'll do, because he's such an unknown, because we don't know him to be anything but an offensive line coach. So I know him to be a great recruiter, right? He's recruited a lot of the kids that I've had the pleasure of being around through the True 19 program and all that. And I think he has a chance to be pretty good. Depends on who he surrounds himself with. If he can surround himself with a ton of head coaches or former head coaches, maybe like a Rich Rodriguez or somebody like that, I think he could be pretty successful. But it depends on how you determine success, right? Arkansas has had some moments where it's been very successful over the years, but how realistic is it to sustain success at Arkansas? I said, new camera alert. Let's get it. Tired of hearing it's our year for UGA and not seeing any natties. Hey, man. UGA need a mobile QB. Nobody needs anything, bro. You just got to execute with whatever you got, right? There are people winning with, I mean, how mobile is Justin Herbert? Is he that mobile, right? Anybody think Justin Herbert is just super mobile? People out there wouldn't mind having like a Jacob Eason. Is he super mobile? Like, you know what I'm saying? There are plenty. Was Dwayne Haskins super mobile? Nobody needs that shit. Like, people got to get up off that, man. You just need to run with what you brung and execute accordingly, right? Even without a mobile QB, Georgia found itself in a national championship in an overtime game. So you don't need anything but to execute soundly. RL in the building. What up? Appreciate it, B. Wyman. Fromm is not as accurate as we thought. Yeah, said nobody who was not a casual fan. He's plenty accurate, man. Get him some guys that can catch and get him some guys that he can trust. Everybody looks accurate when they're throwing a CD Lamb, right? Jalen Hurts, people say he was one of the most inaccurate players, period. What happens now? He's at Oklahoma throwing again in a scheme, right? That's schemed up to perfection with an actual guy like a Lincoln Riley who's been proven to be somewhere good. Instead of being with someone like James Coley who has no track record of success, throwing to guys like Matt Landers and fucking Tyler Simmons and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I don't want to talk to casual fans no more. If you're a casual fan, like, you know what I'm saying, just sit there and just like be quiet and watch me talk to real football heads. What up, Zimmer? Greg Glaze, what up? I don't know if Fromm will come back or not, man. Everybody looks accurate throwing a wide open receiver. Exactly. Get them some receivers that can get off of press man coverage or that can get open extremely quickly. Give them an offensive coordinator that can scheme it up to where, and then you can really totally judge it, right? Did he look inaccurate last year? Did he look inaccurate the year before? What changed, right? He went from throwing to Riley Ridley, throwing to Terry Godwin, throwing to Jeremiah Holloman. Man, who am I missing? I can't think of the other guy. But you know, those Isaac Nada, all those 5 targets or whatever that he missed, that went away. So now he's throwing to the next 5 because if those 5 guys came back, nobody right there would be starting. Nobody right there, right? You got a couple of true freshmen. They're going to be good or whatever like that, but they're true freshmen. He had a bunch of juniors and guys, and he had a better offensive coordinator in Jim Chaney, whether people wanted to admit that or not. That's what's changed. And all of a sudden, he's not as accurate as we thought when we had 2 years of data on him. Whatever. Mecole Hardman. Sorry about that. Mecole Hardman. Lost 5 targets, right? 4 receivers and 1 tight end. Even lost the receiver that we thought was going to be pretty good this year that he had a good rapport with, and Jeremiah Holloman. Lost him in the preseason for getting kicked off the team. But nobody's going to acknowledge that. Do you play football before? Football is about trust. That's what it's about. You got to trust and believe that somebody's going to be there. Or if not, if you're afraid to make a mistake, this shit is going to show in your game. If you don't think somebody's going to be at the right spot at the right time like a Riley Ridley would be, he's inaccurate. But go look at the fucking SEC championship game when he was dicing Alabama the hell up, and all the other games we've seen him do that. But this specifically that particular game, because he was shooting that shit all around the yard. They came out and spread that shit out, and he was shooting it all around the yard against a bunch of guys we know that are going to the NFL in Alabama, but he had the receivers that could get open and everything like that. Are you not going to acknowledge that? I will acknowledge that obviously he regressed, but you have to ask yourself, like, man, is he the only reason he regressed, or is there circumstances surrounding that could lead him to a regression, right? The results are the results. You can't argue against the fact that he had a much worse year than he had last year. But what about the other shit around him that changed? New offensive coordinator, his top 5 targets all gone. At least acknowledge that shit. People talking like Fromm had a terrible year. He had a terrible year to me by his standards. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Super Chat. I was on a tangent. What are your thoughts on UWF versus Ferris Stasis? Dang it, man. Come on, fam. You shouldn't even have to point me to that shit. You know that man wanna get his jokes off. What do you think about the Matt Luke hire? That's a pretty good hire, man. You also look at the fact that we lost. I said the thing about Jeremiah Holloman. What are we talking about here? Do people listen or do they skim? That regression analysis could go for any player, though, Murf. It could go for any player. Well, then, all right, give me what player, right? Give me Tua. Give me Tua Tagovailoa's regress. Who did he lose? Who did Tua Tagovailoa lose? Right? And who were they replaced by? He lost his offensive coordinator, Mike Locksley, and he got replaced by a guy in Steve Sarkisian, who was one of the most successful offensive coordinators in college football, who got to become a head coach, right? That's his succession plan right there. He didn't lose it. He lost Irv Smith, right? But they're a receiver. They're all four receivers that he killed it came back with, right? So he's not missing anything. So give me somebody else. Give me somebody else. Come on, Quentin, give me somebody else. Trevor Lawrence. He lost Hunter Renfrow, right? But his offensive coordinator stayed the same. They had success with winning national championships before Trevor even got there, right? Won a national championship before he got there, and he got to return T. Higgins and Justin Ross and DeAndre Overton and Amari Rodgers and a host of other players and Travis Etienne and these guys like that. The offensive line, 4/5 of the offensive line return. Come on, fam. Don't do that shit. I want receipts. I remember when you made the video on Holloman, I was hurt that this was going to be his year. Yeah, Holloman is the truth, man. He was going to be very good. Where's the Quentin guy at? That can be said about a lot of people. Give me somebody. Come on, give me somebody. Because you're only going to compare him to his peers. None of his peers had to deal with losing 5 targets and a change of an OC to a guy who had no track record of success. Both of his offenses at Miami were rated in total offense like in the 60s and the 70s. Give me somebody give me an example of that shit. Come on, fam. Let's go. Worried about Trask next year. Pitts will save him. All right, so here's one next year, right? So Kyle Trask, he's going to be losing a whole bunch of different players as well, right? Josh Hammond, he's going to be losing Freddie Swain. He's going to be losing Van Jefferson. And I think I may be missing someone else, right? But he'll be returning Kyle Pitts, right? You can arguably say Kyle Pitts was his number one target. He'll be returning his number one target, right? And Jacob Copeland got a lot of work in there. He's very much like a Jeremiah Holloman for Jake Fromm. But you know what? Most importantly, he'll be keeping? The hacker, Dan Mullen, a guy with a proven track record of success of coordinating an offense and play calling. Where's the Quentin guy at? Come on. Yeah, new camera, bro. Y'all go check out Murf video about James Coley. That shit is on point. What video do I have about James Coley? I'm confused. You talking about that shit when he first came there? Yeah, I heard about James Cook getting arrested. Brandon says the new camera is hard. It's hard. Appreciate it, Brandon. Mullen, a great coach. Him and Norvell should be a great rivalry. Are you going to throw Norvell up in there and shit like that? He trying to throw his little Florida State guy up in there. I chumped him off. No, I ain't chumped him off. I'm just trying to have some dialogue. When people say that shit, there's nobody will let me get away with talking about some shit and not backing it up, right? I'm a film study based guy at the very least, right? So if I'm wrong on some shit, you can be like, listen, this is what he saw on film, right? I don't control football. I cannot fucking go out there and play for the people or anything like that. I'm just giving you my analysis and my opinion based off of some substance, right? But when you come and say, oh, that can be said for a lot of people, well, then give me the guys and let's see their results. Hell, one of the guys you could probably give me would be like a Tom Brady. And how's it going for Tom Brady? This Quentin dude must be slow. I'm not sure if he's slow or anything like that. I mean, he's probably, here he goes. Blame some of that regression on Fromm, not the factors around him. Coley don't make Fromm overthrow and underthrow receivers. And this is who clicks on my stream. They should have like a, they should, they had like a breathalyzer test or some shit like that. They should have a breathalyzer test to get up on my stream and talk football. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. What about when he hits receivers right in the hands? What about when the play caller can't get out of his own way and calling some dumbass shit? Blame it on just Jake Fromm. I already acknowledged that he regressed, but the results are the results, right? If you can't see that the shit changed around him, dude, then you're just a fucking hater. Like, get the fuck out of here, for real, fam. If you want to talk some ball, come back, you know what I'm saying, when you got some shit of substance. Fromm does what he can, give the man his credit. Like I said, I'm not going to absolve him of everything. He had some throws that he missed. But I sat right there in our patreon.com/committed to the G. And even in the LSU game, man, I count. What would his stats be if Tyler Simmons would have caught that deep pass, or Matt Lerner's would have caught the out route that hit him in the hand, or Matt Lerner's would have caught the end zone where he only went up with one hand because he was getting chumped out by Derek Stingley. Balls hitting dudes right up in the hands and them straight dropping and shit like that. If your guy is struggling, you got to help him out as well. But you have to acknowledge more than just one thing. I'll never sit up here and say that Jake Fromm was killing it. I done said it 50 million times. I called him ROTC Jake. He went from the general to ROTC Jake, right? But I'm also going to acknowledge the shit around him as well. Georgia had a lot of injuries at the skill position. Imagine having injuries with some guys that weren't that good to begin with, right? They're not that far along in their development to where they can be relied upon like a Riley Ridley or these guys, or just comparing it to the guys now. Can you compare those guys to Justin Jefferson and these guys? Not at all. You probably could compare Riley Ridley and McCole Hardman and those guys to them, right? Because they were further along in their development. And then these guys get injured as well. You're working with Lawrence Cager as your best receiver, right? That right there in itself says where they were at. That dude should not be someone's best receiver. He is not built to be someone's number one target that game in and game out, you could be able to rely on him to beat LSU or to beat Alabama and shit like that, right? He needs to be someone's complimentary receiver at worst. I mean, at best, right? He's someone's complimentary receiver, and then he gets hurt. So what are we talking about here, man? Whatever. They don't have playmakers for the spread. Got to go out and get them, man. Dude, don't say that I'm deflecting some shit. I just fucking acknowledged that this boot sucked. He did not have it. What the fuck else you want me to say, bro? He did not have a good year. But fucking acknowledge the other shit around him. Are you that retarded? This shit is not fucking hard, bro. The fuck are you talking about? I'm not deflecting anything. I'm acknowledging everything, right? You just want me to sit up there and say it's all this dude's fault when I fucking understand football. I can understand this shit, dude. This shit is not hard to me. There's a lot of shit that goes around that even these guys who are doing great, they have a lot of shit that's set up for them to do great, right? Returning players, guys with fucking some of the best schemes out there. This man's playing in an antiquated scheme with a bunch of personnel that is not that good at this particular point in time. What are you talking about? I'm acknowledging everything. You're the one with the bias. Don't say that I'm being biased when I'm acknowledging everything. Jesus, man. You can't claim injuries and pound your chest at signing day, says dang it, man. You can, dude, it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. I know he's trolling. He has to be trolling. Because you've had to hear me say 15 times that I'm not absolving him of anything. He did not play well. There's a lot of throws that he missed. But what about the throws that he made? What about this weak-ass offense that he plays in? What about the fucking use of 12 personnel all the time and trying to go vertical with some slow-ass tight ends and some slow-ass possession receivers? There's a lot of shit beyond that shit, bro. You can think with your little casual fan brain and then fucking try to blame one person and then say someone else is biased when I'm fucking talking about the entire scope of what's going on. Man. Why would Jeff Scott be the head coach of FSU? Uh-oh. Luigi's still on the FSU stuff. He's trying to force FSU on us. UGA problem is play calling, which is attractive to wide receiver recruits. Cager was Miami's third option, and he was a GOAT at Georgia. Third option? When was he the third option there? I covered that team, right? When Amon Richards and all those guys were there, he was not the third option. He says Top has praised UGA a lot this year, and he's also been critical. He's fair, period. Get out of your bullshit, guys. Come on. There's no way somebody can ever say that. What I do is, if I see this shit, I'm going to say it, regardless of what it is, right? If it's going good and I see that shit on the film, I'm going to do it. If it's going bad, I see the shit on the film, we're going to do it. It don't matter to me. I'm not a fan. And this shit I don't get off on being a fan. I get off on giving fair analysis. That's what I'm built on. I don't know if he stays at OC, bro. I'm not Coach Smart. Should he stay at OC? I wouldn't let him stay at OC. I need some sleep. I'm good. I don't know anything about him transferring anything. This is not breaking news or anything like that, bro. We're just having some speculation. Did you notice any new mechanics issues with Fromm? I can't say that I noticed any new. Everything that you said before. He's always been a guy who's been more of a hip rotational thrower than a guy who sits there and steps into throws with his feet. He throws a very catchable ball. He likes to put deep balls on you, Pauls, and everything like that. But no, I can't. I've noticed I notice differences in the routes that are being ran that he's thrown to, and it's hard for someone to trust it. But as far as his mechanics, I have not noticed that. But you know what I'm saying? If he had faulty mechanics, if you say he has faulty mechanics now, he had those same faulty mechanics then too, because he's throwing the same, really throwing the same. So you could just tell he's not trusting what's going on out there, and he's spooked, right? He doesn't want to make a mistake. It's been beating his head to not make mistakes because of the type of system that it is, right? It's based on defense and no mistakes, and that's what I noticed from that standpoint. But he has not played well. He has not played good at all. And guess what? You know somebody's unbiased, right? Everybody know I love DeAndre Swift, right? The Philly Flyer, right? Philly Flyer shirts and all this and shit like that. I done said 50 million times. I don't think he had that good a year, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if he's a first-round draft pick. He was not explosive. A lot of shit went on with him as well. So the offensive line, I can't say that shit was the best offensive line in the country and all that shit. You know why? Because every week I'm doing film studies on patreon.com, in-depth film studies, and looking at shit objectively, right? And I just see shit like unobjectively, and I see shit that's like fucking like, what is it? What's going on here? The interior portion of the line not good. The whole shit just looked like it went to shits to me, right? And people want to put it on one person. I can't do that. My mind does not work that way. I see shit in the whole framework of the entire operation. I'm like, man, this is just not a good offense. Tarik Black would not be good at Georgia. Stop taking everyone's cast off. Tarik Black was not good at Michigan. Why is he going to be good at Georgia? You want another possession receiver so you can still stay in the 2011 Alabama shit like Coach Smart wants? Get the fuck out of that shit. You got Tommy Bush already. Let him be Tarik Black. He can give you 11 catches for 100 yards like Tarik Black did at Michigan. Let that dude do that. Go and recruit some guys or take some transfers from some speed guys. Let your quarterback throw some guys in space and have them break tackles and take shit 70 and 80 yards, right? Not having to throw the ball down the field 70 yards, being able to generate explosive plays like Alabama and LSU does off of high percentage throws that are slants and hitches and crossers and stuff like that, and then see, you know what I'm saying? This Georgia shit makes me so like annoyed because they'll take anything. You know what I'm saying? You'll take anything. Oh, Tarik Black. He's slow as shit, bro. He's a slow 6'4", 6'5" receiver. You don't got that. You got those on your roster already, man. Just use those guys. Go out and get some shit different. Stop putting your hand on the stove. Do you prefer a 4-4 jet guy or 4-6 route genie at receiver? I prefer them both, bro. Right? You got the 4-6 route genie and Jerry Jeudy with the 4-4 jet guy and Henry Ruggs, and they work well together. I like that shit. Perfect example. Waddle 8 folks alive on quick plays. Just Waddle? Did you not watch what Henry Ruggs was doing? He's the one with the shit. You throw him a slant and he takes it 70 or 80 yards. Go look at his yards per. Go look at Devontae Smith and these guys. Arian Smith is a good wide receiver. He's like a mini McCole Hardman. He might actually be a little bigger than McCole Hardman, though, right? But yeah, Arian Smith is definitely one of the kind of guys you want to go with. You say Adrian Smith. I'm glad I caught that. Arian Smith. Rumors are Jermaine Burton and Jason McClellan would be a huge get for offense. Jason McClellan, which team are you talking about, bro? If you're Georgia, please don't come up in here thinking I'm some type of Georgia fan or my channel is some type of Georgia channel. Like, acknowledge that I cover more teams than I cover than Georgia, and I probably cover them more than I cover Georgia. So state your team when you say shit like that. I don't like Major Applewhite. Why does UGA always want to be a power run team? Because their fucking head coach came from Alabama. I mean, that's easy. He came from Alabama. They won 3 national championships with them there, right? Or was it 4? 3 national championships with them there, being a physical football team. He's a defensive coach. A lot of these defensive coaches don't like that spread shit, right? It takes a real man to be like, man, you know what? You know who did that, right? Bob Stoops. So Bob Stoops, one of the greatest defensive coordinators that we seen when he was at Florida and shit. I think he was having trouble with like Mike Leach and some of these air raid guys, right? You know what he said? He's like, man, I can't mess with that shit, man. Let me go and hire one of these dudes and try to implement some shit like that into my program. Coach Smart's going to have to get like that, right? He's going to have to eventually go outside of himself, be like, you know what, man, 2000 Alabama is gone. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that 2000 Alabama can't win a national championship, but that style of play, whatever, right there, probably makes it a little bit harder to win one. At least give yourself the best opportunity to win something when you see these guys are doing shit that is much easier and they're getting praise for that. You're having Jake Fromm do a lot of NFL shit, right? These guys are being spoon-fed easy-ass throws over the middle of the field and being spoon-fed exactly what to do by looking over on the sideline. Jake Fromm doesn't have that type of shit. So you're making him put Jake Fromm in one of these easy-ass offices with a lot of space and some talented personnel that can just take some shit to the house 80 yards out off of a slant pass. He can't do that. He was doing good with NFL shit, right, when he had the talent. Y'all was saying the same shit about Burrow before the season started. They exactly were saying that shit. I had all that Joe Burrow shit, and people were saying, why are you talking about Joe Burrow? He sucks, Murf. Thanks, Auntie. Why you do that to our boy Caleb Herto? Caleb, are you there? You didn't get hidden, do you? You didn't get blocked, did you? Let me know if you're there, Caleb. Burrows. He's Burrow. Why is he Burrows? Burrow threw deep, right? But guess what happened? He was underthrowing passes against Georgia, but his receivers like Terrace Marshall, he underthrew him severely, won one time. But what did he do? He adjusted to it and went back and got the ball right over Tyson Campbell, I want to say it was. Sometimes you got to help out your receiver, man. I mean, you got to help out your quarterback. I'm going to donate you $50 if LSU doesn't win the Natty. Don't forget. I'm confused as to why what I have to do with LSU not winning the Natty. None of these people in. Who was the one that said that LSU was going to take that shit to the playoffs, bro? That was me. That was before the season even started. I'm back in March and shit doing all this shit. Do not sleep on Joe Burrow. Everybody always wants to say some shit don't age well. Go back and see if all that Joe Burrow content from February and March aged well. That shit aged well. Oh, shit. SB, what up? Y'all got to separate your feels from the facts. My man Murf turned red at. Damn, he done turned some shit red. Is that the second time we've had turn some shit red? That's hard. That's hard. Man, salute. Salute to you, my man. That's what's up right there, man. That's love. That's straight up love right there. I feel that. I feel that for real, man. Thank you. Thank you. Kirby for doing Fromm a disservice with this crappy offense. And exactly. And then the casual fans are going to blame it all on Fromm. He's not working with the same type of shit that everybody else is working with, but he's judged to the same standard. That's weird. I'm sick of people saying UGA needs a mobile quarterback. We already got one. DeJuan Mathis, he had a cyst on his brain, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they have DeJuan Mathis sitting right there. So there you go. They have a mobile quarterback. Block that guy that said Fromm is garbage juice. Santee didn't get him. Get him, Santee. Who? I didn't see it. Yeah, some of Joe Burrow's worst passes were great plays. That's what I'm saying, man. SB got any money, you can super chat to James Cook to get his ass out of the Clark County jail. I don't know what to tell you, man. I live around this area and shit like that. Don't be messing with the cops out here, man. They be racial profiling like a mug. I'm not gonna lie. But you also need to be doing what you got to be doing too. So if you get caught, you know what I'm saying, slipping on some shit like that, and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, then it's only on you. You know what I'm saying? I try to ride clean as possible because I know that they're looking for it. Fromm did miss some open receivers though. I've already said that shit, man. Come on, fam. Did I not say this shit? Are these dudes? I mean, I just went on a fucking. That had to have been an epic rant of me saying that Jake Fromm did not play well. I've already said this. Like, what the fuck? What more do you want? I see why Tarik spazzed out, right? His spazz out had some splendor in it, though, right? He was like, what more do you want from me? I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to spazz out on you. I already just did it. Sorry, just joined. Or you just joined. Why you going to come with some shit like that, right? Why not ask if, like, Murf, did you acknowledge that this or some shit like that? Like, come on, fam. Cook got locked up on an open container and invalid driver's license. So is it in 2000 for bail money? That's hard. UGA running that 1980 Herschel Walker offense. Burrow sucks because he can't carry all his trophies by himself. Dagan Man's he's a comedian. That's what I know about Dagan Man. He's got all these like zingers and you know what I'm saying. He just be wanting to get his jokes off. So y'all don't pay attention to Dagan Man. He's just here to get jokes off. Hey, when we gonna come to your stand up show, Dagan Man? Y'all just like getting a response from Murf. All facts, all proof are on the page, bruh. They do like for me to spaz out, I think. Whatever floats their boat. Fromm will have a bounce back season next year. Hopefully he bounces back in the NFL. You got to go, man. I'm tired of talking about Jake Fromm. Like I said, Jake Fromm gives casual fans a voice. That's what he does. Tater in the building. How long we been going, man? I got to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Brandon says Fromm going to the league. Lawrence, what up? What up, Lawrence? Thank you for being a member. Shout outs to B. Wyman, Lawrence, VT, Dub. Who else is in here as members? Thank you for all you people being a member, man. $4.99 a month to be a member. I think it's worth it, man. It's worth it to see me spaz out on these casuals, man. Let's go. All right, where we at? 6th Friday in January. Oh, you're a real comedian. For real? Yo, hit the thumbs up button. I don't know how many of the thumbs up, man, so that's why I'm not even concentrating on that bad boy. Murf is a spazzer. Be careful. You've been warned. I am. I spaz out. I think Fromm is waiting on Tua's decision to make his. I don't think they should be mutually inclusive. You know what I'm saying? Just go to the NFL, bro. If they need quarterbacks, they're going to get you. Maybe you end up being in a better situation if you go in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Fromm went to a team on the verge of the playoffs that has some talent on it or something like that. That'd be a lot better, man, than going to one of these teams devoid of talent and having to be some type of savior. When Coach Smart start being held accountable for his poor game management? I would think next season. Fromm to the Pats. Man, how many players that went to the Pats, though, man? Tom Brady going to outlast Fromm. Tom Brady going to be 88 years old, still starting at quarterback. Do I think a guy who I dubbed as the bully is going to have a good year as a sophomore? Did you just literally just click on this, bro? I'm pretty sure everybody should know what I think about Tyreek Stevenson if you've been here even one day. I heard so many fans, LSU fans, say Joe Burrow is just okay. Fans always think the offense is as good as their QB. LSU was an extremely similar spot to UGA last year. Game control is a dead strategy. That is a great point. That is a great point. We just seen this shit last year with Joe Burrow, right? And there's no way that Joe Burrow completed 58% of his passes last year, right? Now, keep in mind, though, he was his first time in the system, right? He's never played in a system like that, and he got to LSU pretty late. But you can just see what some experience, right? Now his experience, like a Jabbar Chase and these guys aren't true freshmen. Terrace Marshall not a true freshman. And then some shit being schemed up to perfection, right? Schemed to death, right? That was my brand when I first started. Schemed to death. That shit was schemed to death. Now look at him. He's completing like almost 80% of his passes. From to the Steelers. Caleb says Tarik the freak. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Sometimes I don't like Caleb. For sure, man. People like Caleb hurt the brand. Tyreek Stevenson is a bully, bro. You should know that shit. Come on, fam. Don't do your boy like that, man. Take that shit. If you're on somebody else's channel, feel free to say that. Over here, he's the bully. Help the brand. You know what I'm saying? You want me to stick around? Help the brand. Murf, what do you think UGA is getting with Marcus Roseman? I think they're getting a guy who can be a potential – man, I think he could be a potential difference maker. I really do like what I see from Marcus Roseman. Extremely competitive guy like that, very physical. And I think that with some improved route running, Marcus Roseman, man, would probably be pretty tough to stop. Got to get him in the right system, though, right? Get these guys all in a good system. Do you Fromm declares and becomes a second or third round pick? I doubt he would be a second or third round pick, man. I still think he would be a first round pick. He'd just be a late first round pick. Because he's going to go through the process. They're going to see how smart he is in football. They're going to look at the shit that he's actually done in college football. Then they're going to be like, well, damn. Do you know what they're going to do? They're going to go through the same shit. They're going to be like, wow, what do you think happened to Jake Fromm? They're going to talk to Coach Smart or talk to all the people around Georgia, around college football, and they're going to be like, he lost his top 5 receivers. He had a new offensive coordinator, right, that coordinated an offense that was in the 60s and the 70s at Miami when he was an offensive coordinator, has no track record of success. And that's what they're going to say. And then some GM's going to be like, man, I think we can get the most out of him and have him looking more like his sophomore version of himself, right? With our talent and our scheme and our ability to scheme it up. I think he can still go late in the first round. I wish I wouldn't have caught Coach K so I could ask him about Justin Flo. Oh, man. Let me text Coach K for you then. Oh, Coach K already texted me. That's weird as hell. While I was texting him, he texted me. He sent me some picture. Coach K says Oregon or Clemson. Man, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know Justin Flo like that. I don't know. I get something with some of these kids, man, with USC. When USC is in the building. All right, let's go. You throw in Eric Gilbert with all the wide receivers coming back, LSU was going to be a monster. LSU's going to be a monster. If it's still schemed like that, right? People don't give enough credit to the scheme. The scheme is making some shit where a dude can almost complete 80% of his passes. That's not hard. Keely Ringo being like a Stingley next year for UGA. I don't know about that, bro. I think you may be hoping that. Everywhere Stingley played and straight balled out against the best competition and shit like that, right? And these camps and these all-stars and shit like that. We have not seen that from Keely Ringo to say that. And he plays in Arizona, right, where he's like the biggest guy on his entire team. He's bigger than his own linemen and stuff like that. It may be a little bit more of an adjustment period for a guy like that. Thank you, Taylor Everest. Thank you for becoming a member. Exactly. Tyson Campbell didn't even do that, and he played at American Heritage. Guys like Stingley are rare. Just because you see some 5-star corner do some shit like that doesn't mean he's Derek Stingley, right? Tyson Campbell was rated as high as anybody. Did Patrick Surtain even really do that, right? He didn't do that. He's not even really that good to me right now, right? He's looking very above average of anything, right? So you can't just say because you're hoping he will be Derek Stingley. Right? You shouldn't think that he's going to be Derek Stingley. That's rare. I'm not taking Joe Burrow over Chase Young unless Joe Brady coming with him. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's real interesting. Is it a big deal that Tarik Black is leaving Michigan? Yeah. Why would it be a big deal, bro? He's leaving with like 300 total yards in 3 years. Yes, bro. We all know Tyson and Patrick are from the same school. Or you knew? Stingley got like 6 picks this year. Crazy. Yeah. That was hard. Ringo or Ricks, who you give the edge to? I would say Elias Ricks. I've seen Elias Ricks play against some really, really good competition. I know people say Ricks is better. We don't know who's better. I will give the edge. I'm not sure who's better. We've never seen either play college football. People were trying to tell me Patrick Surtain was better than Patrick Peterson and shit like that. Has it turned out for him to be better than Patrick Peterson? I'll hang up and listen. How much of a drop do you think Tua will go in the draft if he comes out? If the medicals check out fine, I think he'll be fine, man. Medicals come back fine, I think he'll be fine. But does that say more about his talent or more about not being used in the right manner? We've talked about a whole bunch of different things. What are we talking about here, Tater? Who are you referring to? You think Kimber might end up being better than Ringo? Oh, we've seen stuff like that happen all the time. Will Kyle Trask be the best QB in the SEC next year? I would look at Kyle Trask as the second best SEC quarterback right now. So the third best SEC quarterback right now. So if the first two are gone, I would definitely say that he would be the best, in my opinion. Please don't hate. How do I become a member? Why would I hate on you becoming a member? I would spaz on you becoming a member. Man, you just look on the when you see usually where the subscribe button is, it'll say join, right? I think people are having trouble with it on iPhone, but on the Android platforms and everything like that, you'll see a join button right there on a lot of the video content. I think some of the people said it's right here by the super chat too as well, right? The join button, or some people say when they clicked it or something like that. Is Lamb going to have success against Stingley? Yes. Nobody in the world can stop CeeDee Lamb, bro. And go look at what Stingley struggles with, the quick game. Even against Georgia, right? The throws that he did give up were quick game throws. Ask George Pickens that. Ryan Helinski, I think, is pretty. I think Ryan Helinski is pretty good. Caleb says Keely is faster. He's going to be a jumbo cornerback. I think Helinski has a little bit of talent to him, man, for sure. For sure. They got to give him some talent, though. Got to get Helinski some talent out there. SB said it hadn't shown up for him in a while, so he super chatted instead. Yeah, man, I'm not sure why they do that, man. Like, shit shouldn't be all about the platform, the iPhone thing, right? You got to get it integrated for iPhone. I listen to a lot of commentary on YouTube. I love your show, man. Keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. Will Helinski mess with Bobo? Yeah, I think Helinski might be Bobo's style of quarterback. Taylor Edwards says membership has its privileges. How good do you think Bentley can be in Utah's system? I feel bad for Bentley sometimes as well, man. He was judged to a lot of the standards. I'll tell you what, man. I think what he did to Clemson. Go back and watch that Clemson game, man. Some very nice vertical concepts that they were running against Clemson when I covered Clemson last year, and Bentley was eating them boys alive. That was eye-opening to me. Bentley has had some really good moments, man. I just think he needs some confidence back in him, and he needs people to have confidence in him as well. So I think he'll be coming in at a pretty confident team in Utah, a pretty competent team as well. So I think he can have a little bit of success there. Can Oklahoma beat LSU? Yes, I think Oklahoma can beat LSU. Will Oklahoma beat LSU? That remains to be seen, but we'll get to that when it's time to get to that. Van Jefferson ate Stingley's lunch with the quick routes. That's what I'm saying. He's not the only one, too. Go watch a lot of the Stingley stuff this year, right? Struggling with the quick game. He's getting beat with the same exact slant move the entire year. He got beat very similar, right, by Van Jefferson with George Pickens in the second half when he got his touchdown, right? This is the same exact shit. I'm like, damn, you went for that again? Can't find it in the community tab either. So you have an iPhone, I guess. Does Gatewood start at Kentucky next year? I'm not sure about Kentucky's setup to really say if I know that he'll start there. Is the Terry kid back, Terry Wilson? Would you be surprised if Ohio State beats Clemson by 10 plus? I would be surprised if they beat them by 10 plus, yeah. But would I be surprised if they beat them? Ohio State definitely has a chance to beat Clemson, man. Don't get it twisted. Ohio State is extremely talented. Do I pay attention to FCS football? Nah. I can't pay attention. I have to, you know what I'm saying? That would just be me wasting some time. This is not a game here, baby. This is my business. You think Terry was a senior? Did he play enough games to keep a red shirt? Stingley has been progressing all year. He's learned some tough lessons, but for a true freshman, he's the truth. He will be the best cornerback to ever come out of LSU. Hey, we'll see about that, man. Patrick Peterson is a Hall of Famer. Patrick Peterson is my dude. Where's my Patrick Peterson poster? Got to let him do it for more than one season, man. You guys kid me with that. That's that premature evaluation shit. Patrick Peterson came in and balled out as a freshman, sophomore, and a junior, went to the NFL and did the same shit, and now I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. Honey Badger wasn't as good as Patrick Peterson, man. Who's better, Honey Badger or Grant Delpit? Honey Badger. I'm a Georgia fan, but Ohio State is pretty powerful. What does that got to do with anything, bro? You being a fan of nothing shouldn't have anything to do with your analysis. You don't have to quote who you're a fan of. Just give unbiased analysis. Hey, man, going back to what you said about Ringo not playing good competition, he played against five-star Jack Miller commit and picked him off 2 times. The fuck does that have to do with anything, bro? You're going to literally come to me and talking about one game against one guy? Some of these other dudes and shit like that. Game every if you're in Gwinnett County, every game, right, you're playing against multiple guys on one team who are all going, right? Playing against one quarterback and a whole bunch of Jags he's probably playing with. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Who is Jack Miller's receiver? Is Jack Miller's receiver that he's throwing to, is he some type of superstar receiver, right? Won't you go and look at some of these, like if IMG's playing, right? Every week IMG is playing fucking Matter Day. Then they played fucking the school with James Cook that had all those players on. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players on one team, all D1 players. You're gonna talk to me about one guy? Come on, man. What are we doing? Briles at Georgia would eat the East. That's hard. That's kind of pauses too. You gotta pause that. Yo, Billin, you ever wonder how it is to be a volunteer fan? I don't know, man. I don't know if I had to wonder that when I was a little kid. I loved Peyton Manning and T. Martin and Peerless Price, and I loved Al Wilson, Marcus Nash. I love all kinds of, you know what I'm saying? Tennessee was it when I was a little kid. I remember I got to play at AAU basketball there, and I fell in love with this shit. We got to be there like a whole week playing AAU ball, right up at in Knoxville at their arena and shit like that. This dude said Travis Henry. I named Travis Henry. Rigo has been suspect at all the recruiting camps. Also, he's going to be too big to be a cornerback at UGA. He will end up at safety or possibly outside linebacker. Sounds like you're parroting something that I've heard someone say before. I'm not sure who may have said something like that. Murf looks a little buzzed. I'm not sure what that means, bro. You're talking to Murf. I've never drank or smoked. So, Murf, get the super chat shout out. Where we at? I missed the super chat. What's good, Murf? Thumbs up, homie. J Dub, what up? Big John Henderson. I love Big John Henderson. LSU commit Elias Ricks faced good competition every week in high school, Murf. Hell yeah, he did. What do you think about Fulton? You mean Fulton County Jail? What's up with all them emojis and shit, though, bro? I don't need, you know what I'm saying? Just ask me the question. I don't need a whole bunch of emojis. He's saying I'm on that devil's lettuce. Why you have to follow that shit up when you can see that I clearly did not like somebody saying that, young Coke? Yes, I know who Fulton County Jail is, bro. Are you new on the channel? Type in top billing. Anybody want to ask me a question, at the very least, do yourself a favor and just type in top billing, whatever that subject is you like. Type in top billing Christian Fulton, and then see if something pops up, and then ask me the question. Is there any way that I don't know. I'm confused. There's got to be some way that you should be able to join as being an iPhone guy. Anybody with an iPhone? Anybody a member that has an iPhone? Do you have access to a desktop as well? Right. I think desktop, it doesn't matter, obviously, because it's not an iOS operating system. So if you have access to a desktop, you should be able to join from there. You want my updated opinion? Ain't nothing changed, bro. He's still good to me. All the shit that happened last year wasn't like he was some type of like number 1 overall pick cornerback, right? He's still as good as he was last year to me. The guy is just he's just a very solid, heady player who's always the battling. But I've already said that. No Wody. Robert, no RL. I am not on that Wody. Wody is not that stuff either. That's Wody is way stronger than some devil's lettuce or whatever he said. You're a truck driver, iPhone and iPad. Damn, that's hard. What up, Eddie Sewell? My bad on the Rigo comment. Murf was just spreading the word of your content, not trying to take the credit like it was my words. I apologize, bro. It's all good, bro. You're gonna say my stuff to me. Yeah, Rigo has definitely struggled at some of these camps, but we'll see coming up with the on the camps now, right? We'll see the improvement throughout the season. We'll see these boys getting pads, right? I love the All-American game practices to see these boys go up on some of these camp reps, and we'll be able to see it like that. So as far as his size or whatever like that, he's going to play whatever he wants to play at the University of Georgia. We know how Georgia does it, right? They get it cracking, right? If they want you there, and they're going to make you some promises, you're going to play what you want to play. That's how I feel with that. Jake Fromm is going to the NFL. I'm sick of beating. You're sick of beating? Whoa, holla. We got some Splendor in the old tank. Obviously, we have a guy with Splendor in his tank. You sick of beating? What that mean? You been beating Jake Fromm? Damn, you sick of it too? That's a lot. That's a lot of beating. Georgia Boy Boomer, what up? What up? Thank you for the super chat. Oh, you said you sick of beating. Splendor. BT Dub hit you with the Splendor. I'm sick of beating. Dang, that's hard. Murph, how good is Darnell Washington? I mean, at the high school level, I don't know. He's kind of man, I don't know. Darnell's another one that doesn't play the best of competition, and obviously being 6'8" or whatever he is like that, he's not going to come across too many guys like that. But I think he should be pretty good. He's not that explosive of an athlete to me. He represents a lot of the stuff that we've seen in traditionally in tight ends. So maybe him playing as an inline tight end type or whatever like that, I think he'd be pretty good, man. I think he's going to be pretty good. Do I think J.R. Reed is an NFL talent? Where you been, bro? Very confused by that. Yes. UGA receivers can't catch a city bus. That's hard. Birch will probably go to Clemson. Let's go. He's sick of beating. He said, I wish Jake Fromm is going to the NFL. I'm sick of beating. That's hard. That's hard for people with Splendor. That's what I'm saying. That's hard, right? If you got Splendor in your tank, you probably think that's hard. He beat it enough, and he want him to go to the NFL. Birch going to LSU. They're here battling. You have the membership link in your community tab for iPhone users. Man, I wish you could. Won't you email old dude right there and tell him and show him how to get that? Does Jordan Birch fit a 3-4 system as a 3-4 DN? Somebody give me his current weight, right? Some of these guys be coming in their senior years, they gain like 30 pounds or something like that. I meant to say hearing about him. We know what you meant to say, Brandon. We're just giving you a hard time. That's what we do on this channel. Do you think Darnell Washington would be a better prospect as an offensive tackle? That's some coach. You on that Coach K shit. Coach K put everybody at offensive tackle. I used to get mad with Coach K, right? We'd be marketing kids together. Like this Garmin Randolph kid, right? He ended up going to Baylor as a defensive end, right? But he was a tight end, and Coach K wanted him to be an offensive tackle. I'm like, what? Coach K wanted Ryland Goldie to be an offensive tackle. He put everybody at offensive tackle. Was watching Paris Johnson Jr. clips. He's a bully, man, straight dog. We'll see if he's a bully at these camps, right? So I want to see if you a bully against all your peers at these Under Armour and Army Bowl camps. 6'5", 275 on for Birch. I guess it depends on the 3-4 system itself, right? A lot of these 3-4 teams, right, are running pure sub packages, right, where they're 4 down linemen. If you're talking about like Georgia and Alabama, very much looking more like 4-men front, right, even fronts. But guys like that, man, back in the day, man, I like to see them in a 4-3 as an end, right, as a base end in a 4-3 with 275 pounds, being able to anchor that run game. Who I think has the deepest wide receiver core in the playoffs. The deepest would have to be, probably Clemson. The deepest, right? Since Alabama's not in there. LSU goes about 4 deep. Clemson goes like, what, 5, 6 deep? I love how I get to say it, and then all these people come in with it. They ask me the question, man. Why y'all got to do that too? Think UGA would have a motivation in the bowl game? No. I don't think they would have motivation in this bowl game. They're playing against Baylor. Jermaine Burton appears to step up his game against elite competition. Shit, which stop though? He on his 15th high school. That's always troubling for me when you can't stay at one high school. Or at least 2. This man on like his 8th high school. How you do that there? Lawrence Cager is a boss. I'm just putting that out there. Oh, yeah. People wake up every day thinking about, wow, Lawrence Cager is about to crush it. Him and his 300 yards. The fuck are we talking about here, man? People these days, man, they're impressed by any little thing. Was he a boss his first 3 years at Miami? Same type of production. These dudes, I'm telling you, man, these Georgia people, they're literally impressed by anything, and they want anything, like desperate, like desperation, desperate mode. Do you think multiple high school thing applies to Elias Ricks? Didn't he just, how many high schools for him? He went from somewhere to IMG, right? Let me know how many high schools for Elias Ricks. Exactly why Zachary Evans worries me as a possible LSU commit. Too many schools. Damn, I only know him from North Shore. I'm confused. Yeah, matter day to IMG. Like, well, that's par for the course right there. Yeah, that's par for the course. That's nothing. But I'm talking about just switching schools like every year. You switch schools a bunch of times in high school, probably going to do it in college. Jamias Williams, D'Angelo Gibbs. Do you think anyone has the personnel to drop 7 to 8 and make it work like Auburn did against LSU? I'm very confused by that. I think these people, I can't wait to really talk about that and show some shit, right? Like, let's go ahead and do this now, and then I can go ahead and get up out of here, right? Georgia did that, and it worked. I don't know why people can't. This is what Georgia does, right? They're on that Bill Belichick shit. They're going to take away your top options coming into the game, right? So coming into the game, who were LSU's top 2 options, and how did they perform? Jamar Chase had what? He had what? 40-something yards or something like that? Let me know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had what on the ground? Right? And then they had a plan for him through the air, right? He still ended up doing some pretty good stuff through the air. They put a freshman on him. So they essentially wanted to erase that run game and erase Jamar Chase from beating them, and then make them make tough throws with the rush 3, dropping 7, spying type stuff, right? So here's the deal, right? 340 yards for Joe Burrow. What is that? What is that really? That ain't shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's 38 passes. And 38 passes, you shouldn't be getting 300 and something yards, right? But this is the way I look at it, right? When you really look at it, and I went and looked, I'm like, man, this shit was a lot more competitive than people give it credit for. First and foremost, you have to give help to your defense. You can't have them ball out, get Joe Burrow off the field, and then you go 3 and out, and they're right back on the field. That shit, the dam is going to eventually collapse. That ain't have nothing to do with Georgia. It got no help from its offense. No help. But with all things considered, 70-something of those yards literally came off a play where you made that man look like Johnny Manziel. He had to rush this way, spin, muscle relax Trayvon Walker a couple of times, come back out, and it was a scramble play to Justin Jefferson for 70-something yards, right? That wasn't some in-rhythm type shit where he just bust your ass. That was some shit you forced him to make a great play. Take 70 and something of those yards right there off of that particular performance, and what do you have? A 260-something yard, 270-something, whatever the math is, performance? With Jamar Chase not killing you? And take that 70-something yards off of Justin Jefferson's total. And what did he really do? You got to look at it more than like a fan, man. So Jamar Chase had 3 catches for 41 yards in a TD. And the TD was what? You forced him to make another great play as well. He scrambled or whatever like that. Jamar Chase on the scramble drill came in like that. That's all you got to do, right? You should be able to live with that. If somebody is great like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and these guys and Justin Jefferson, and they make a great play, I can live with that. What I can't live with him just dicing me up like a little bit of celery or some shit like that within the framework of an offense. That shit wasn't within the framework of an offense. He had to scramble out, do this and that. That's just a great play. Same thing with the touchdown in the back of the end zone or whatever like that. But you can say what you want. Marshall dropped an 80-yard TD. It didn't happen. Georgia dropped an 80-yard TD too. So what the fuck? Nobody's going to count it. It didn't happen. How many catches did Georgia? If that's the case, then we should say that Jake Fromm had a good game. Because how many catches did his receivers drop? They dropped a touchdown pass. 2 of them, technically, whatever like that. You can't do that. He dropped it. It didn't happen. So I don't know what to tell you. That was a good defensive performance to me, right? You just needed some offense behind it. The dam was going to break. You're not going to stop these guys. I expect Joe Burrow to throw for 300 yards, even in a loss. Even in a loss, I expect him to throw for 300 yards. Matter Day doesn't allow players to graduate high school early. That's why Elias Ricks went to IMG Murf. Going to another school like IMG, that's what people do. You know what I'm saying? I've known kids that go to IMG and shit like that. It's just what people gonna do. But these other schools just bouncing around your state and shit like that shit's weird to me. I'm sorry for saying this, Murph. You probably addressed this in one of your videos, but was it the defense corner thinking rushing 3 people at Joe Burrow? I just told this damn dude the shit fucking worked, right? You forced this dude to have to take that 70-yard bomb away where he wasn't in the framework of an offense. He scored like 260-something yards. You needed help from your offense, right, to be able to sustain some drives and to be able to keep them to where they were fresh. The rushing 3, dropping 8 shit, right? He did not have 80 and 90-yard completion percentage. He went 28 for 38 first and foremost, right? And you forced him to make great plays. You did your job. You just needed to be able to have an offense that could help you out as well. If your offense helps you out, chances are they probably don't score as much, right? They don't throw an interception to Derek Stingley, right down there about it. What was it? It was 20-9. It was something like 20-9, right? Or 20 to something, right? Or it would have been 20. That's another thing, right? Georgia missed a bunch of kicks as well. They weren't being helped out at all. Not helped out at all. They did a good job to me on that. They set up a game plan right there to where all you got to do is just try to follow that bad boy, but follow it and have some offense of your own, because you're not going to stop LSU. We can sit up here and do all this shit and that. He's going to throw for 300 yards because more than likely he's going to throw 40 times. Right? He's throwing 40 times to a bunch of NFL receivers. They're going to get you 300 yards. That shouldn't be anything. You don't want him getting 600 and 500 yards. You don't want that type of shit, right? But you want to limit the production and limit the explosive plays and have them try to work in the red zone, right? Most of the time that Georgia was in the red zone, they kind of struggled, right? I remember the one they had a kind of a quick play right on an out route to Georgia couldn't get set up, and they hit Terrace Marshall on like a little out route against J.R. Reed, and then they had the shit where they didn't banjo, and it may have been Terrace Marshall again, or was it Justin Jefferson, somebody like that. But most of the time in the red zone, they really forced. Georgia played great red zone defense in that game. They just didn't get any help from the offense, man. I feel like I'm back in college. Always those kids who thought they were asking a good question when the answer was literally just explained 5 minutes ago. That was college? What kind of college was that? That shit reminded me of high school. I used to be like, damn, they just said that. Why are you asking that? You're not paying attention because you're over there asleep on your desk, and then you wake up and ask a question. Brian Herrion developed well. Solomon Kinley, what are y'all talking about, man? Trying to become a member and wipe my feet properly, got to get on the laptop. Thank you, King NJ. Please do that, bro. Murf is slowly turning red. Can't wait until next Friday to twist off again. Holla. I don't know about that. We got to pause that, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? You twisting. You know what I'm saying? We twist the ladies, baby. Did I get I missed something? Murphy West is back. Murphy West. All right, how long we got to go here? All right. I'm going to have to go about 5 minutes, man. I got to get bounced. Man, came in and got murked. That's hard. Blaylock was about to eat on LSU. Now that's hard. Blaylock was about to Blaylock put Cardell Flott on, you know what I'm saying, on a baby muscle relaxer, right? Cardell shit, you know what I'm saying? He had to take a nap at the very least at halftime off of that shit, but then the man tore his ACL. But George Pickens came in and was getting it popping. I hear you, bro. That's what I said last year at the LSU Bama. But look at Auburn. They got a lot of pressure with 3 guys up front. Can OSU or Clemson do that? What? I don't know. You can say. I don't know. It's 2 ways to look at that, right? He didn't throw for 500 yards against Georgia. He did throw for 500 yards against Auburn. But what did Auburn actually do? Auburn sustained a little bit of offense as well. If Georgia was full strength, right, with all its players, with a healthy DeAndre Swift and Lawrence Cager, George Pickens, and these guys playing, it probably would have looked even much better. To me, it would have looked much better than Auburn's. They weren't going to throw for 500 yards on them. You can say that they missed the 80-yard touchdown or whatever like that, but there was some shit that they got right that was very lucky as well. I mean, one time he threw the ball, the shit bounced off, and Joe Burrow caught the shit himself and went, right? So there's a lot of shit that you can do, like a shoulda, woulda, coulda, or this or that happened or whatever like that. The bottom line is the bottom line. He threw for a whole bunch of yards against Auburn. Auburn did a good job in the red zone, but Auburn did a good job. You say they rushed him or whatever, like he still had 500 yards passing, didn't he? How many yards did he have passing? I don't want to keep saying he had 500 yards passing. Somebody look that up for me. Maybe he only had 300-something yards. I don't want to keep saying that. I don't know. That just popped in my mind. I'm not answering Matt Luke questions for the 485th time. Like, just watch some old streams, bro. When the shit break or whatever like that and some news, just go back to an old stream or some old video or something like that. You think that I didn't already get asked about Matt Luke? Less than 300 yards. Shit. Then where did the other yards come? Oh, it was Plumlee that had the they had 500 yards of offense. There you go. Trash had more yards than Burrow. That's the one people keep talking about. Some shit. The way to beat them to me is just gonna have to be a shootout with them. Somebody's gonna have to be able to shoot out with them and try to. It's gonna be somebody who combine what Auburn and Georgia did with an offense. Auburn's offense to me is doo-doo trash. Georgia's defense is even more doo-doo trash without DeAndre Swift and these guys healthy. There's nothing doo-doo trash about Ohio State or Clemson, right? Or Oklahoma. It's going to have to be somebody who can try to do that, but has a very good offense as well, because you may have to shoot it out. And what did I say? At the time, I was like, man, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between Florida and LSU. Florida's the one with the goods to me. You can't stop Florida, right? And they can't even run the ball. It's just pure passing. It's like a fake-ass air raid, right? Because they just inherently can't run the ball, but they have too many weapons, right? That's the deepest receiving core in the country. They go 6 and 7 deep, right? With the NFL freaky top 10 pick at tight end type dude, right? but they can't run the ball, and all they did was keep outscoring. What they needed was their defense to be able to make a couple of stops or whatever like that, and their defense wasn't up to the task at that particular point in time. But it got dicey for LSU there, right? So that's what it is. To beat LSU, man, you're going to have to be clicking on all cylinders. That's just what it is. They're just that damn sick. Trash was throwing perfect back shoulder passes to Van Jefferson, and LSU Stingley has fits versus him. And they were working the inside game. That's what really, he was getting the back shoulders, but shit, he was getting beat on those slants too. Georgia fans put more stock in the offensive line coaches than the offensive philosophy, Murf. That is very Georgia. That is so Georgia. Tash threw for more than Burrow, but Burrow only 3 incompletions against UF. Yeah, that's hard. Who do you have the most incompletions against? Was it Georgia or Auburn? Can somebody give me Joe Burrow stats right on that particular game? Florida's stupid deep at receiver. Hell yeah, I love that Florida receiving core. This Florida team was super underrated, man. 2 losses, right? To who? Georgia and LSU. And they weren't blown out of both. It's funny. It's like they had to play a defensive game with Georgia, and they did pretty good in that manner, whatever, like that, even though Georgia's offense sucks. Then they had to play a complete offensive game with LSU, and they balled out in that fashion too, right? It was a very well-rounded team, right? I think the thing with it to me was it needed to be able to make a couple of plays, and you needed Jabari Zuniga and John Grenard to do that. And they just didn't have that available when they really needed it. U.S. having a great class coming in too. Or what I saw that they flipped Santee with the no splendor John. We're going to have to get the no splendor hats, bro. Let me know about the class, bro. I saw they flip Parker Braun, and did they get anybody else? I haven't been paying attention. Love the Gators' defensive offensive play calling, but USC East, Miami, Kentucky all could have beat us. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, bro. There's some teams that could have beat Georgia too, that they didn't lose to. McDaniel, who's that? They flipped the corner from Tennessee. Oh, that's hard. Mordecai McDaniel. There you go. That's what I tell you. What did I tell you, UF people? Keep winning, baby. Just win, baby. What's your take on Isaiah Simmons versus J.K. Dobbins? The hell kind of question is that? What's my take on some overhang defender versus a running back? I'm confused. Do you mean, what is my take? Like, ask me some shit that won't spaz me out. Like, ask me my take on offensive line trench play, right? Not some skill player versus some popular linebacker. I don't see football as being that, right? Isaiah Simmons is not going to stop J.K. Dobbins by himself. What about the fronts? Ask me about the offensive fronts versus the defensive fronts or something like that. Wait until next year, Murf. Will that be? That's hard all year dealing with the Gators. Y'all already know how I feel about the Gators, man. They can just keep being disrespected for all I care. Just keep disrespecting them. The hacker will make you pay. The hacker. What's up, Southern boy? Holla. Man. Gators getting it popping. I cannot wait for signing day, man. I'm telling you, there's going to be some shit that's going to surprise some people. It always is on signing day. The Gators winning the East next year. I wouldn't totally count out Georgia. You may be going too far there, buddy. They have a chance to win the East. I thought they had a chance to win the East this year. The shit proved out to be exactly what I thought it was going to be. Where's Ian Snyder at now? Killing me in the group chat and talking this and that, how they suck and this and that. Gators did not suck. Swift and Harrion might not play. Swift and Harrion. James Cook, man, why wouldn't Harrion play? Harrion is not a first-round draft pick type or nothing like this. If any, is he hurt or something? Because if he's not hurt, this is his time to play because it's his time to shine, right? He shines in a bowl game. He puts himself on the map. And I would help him shine, right? For a guy like that, a program guy, I would let him get the majority of the carries and show what he can do for the NFL. Florida defensive backfield is going to be nasty. Man, if Marco stays right, Do you think what y'all think? Y'all think Marco Wilson leave? Right, CJ gone, so Marco Wilson, Kyer Elam. Man, do you think my boy Sean Davis stays? All them other dudes can stay too, right? Brad Stewart. It's like everybody, Steiner, like all those guys could come back. That's weird. Those guys are like 48 years old apiece. If you think bowl games doesn't matter, you're an idiot. Well, people always say that shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Bowl games matter to who? Who should bowl games matter to? You're sitting at your own house. So who are we talking about? You can't judge your feelings with someone else's feelings who are actually playing. So what are we talking about here? Now, I wasn't impressed with Marco either. But here's the kicker. Let him get more than a year removed from ACL surgery, then we'll see what Marco was popping. He's trending to come back. He should definitely come back. I'm confused. What are we talking about? Yep, Jacoby Stevens is definitely a junior. He's in that 2017 class. I was around him a lot at the camp circuit. I thought he was going to be a fire-ass cornerback. I was impressed with him as a receiver, too, in high school. Now look at him, man. He's an overhang defender. He's a damn near linebacker. At the next level, he's going to be somebody's fire-ass linebacker. In a 4-3 defense in the NFL as a weak side linebacker, who will be faster and more aggressive than Jacoby Stevens? UF could win if Fromm comes back. Come on, man. Take those little casual fan opinions to somewhere else. I'm ready to see Lloyd Summerall as well. I'm ready to see Lloyd Summerall. I'm ready to see Mahmoud Diabate ball out. Fromm 3-0 against UF. That's what I'm saying. Take the little goofy-ass casual fan opinions about. If Fromm comes back, Fromm was already here this year sucking and they still beat Florida. The fuck are you talking about? Like, that just sounds goofy to me. You hope Kerry Vincent leaves? If I were you, I'd want Fromm to leave. Fromm sucked all year except against Florida every year. He's the opposite of Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was the truth every game of his career except against Florida. Fromm sucks except against Florida. UGA controlled that game too. Florida only had 3 points going into the fourth quarter. That was hard. Stevens will be a great linebacker in the league. He'll be converted similar to when Mark Barron was moved from safety. I'm pretty sure I just said that. I'm confused. 0-4 against Florida. Yeah, Peyton's my all-time favorite college football, my all-time favorite football player, period, right? Peyton Manning, Keyshawn Johnson, Peter Warwick, guys like that. And every time he played Florida, I was like, man, he about to lose. Greg Rousseau, that dude is hard. Fab Five or Trash next year. You gonna sick Trash? Trash has got to be like one of the hottest quarterbacks in the entire country. You're gonna go? I don't know. Y'all killing me with that, man. I love Fab Five. Hopefully he could stay past one more year or whatever and still be worked in next year, and he be there if something happened to Trash. But I don't see how you could just sit Kyle Trask. He's killing college football without the benefit of being a starter, right? So he didn't have camp reps where he was being thought of as the starter. He didn't get the lion's share of the reps. How good could he be next year? So you're talking about what you're losing. What about going into this season, right, with a proven starter in Kyle Trask, right? Played against the best competition this year and relatively did very well, right? Killing people. What about him as your guy next year? That'll take up the slack for a lot of shit that you're going to be missing. Well, people always got to do the little shiny new toy. I love Fab Five though. Fab Five is a red shirt sophomore. Fab Five is a red shirt freshman. He was Ohio State's quarterback before Justin Fields. Well, he was Ohio State's quarterback, right? And then he decommitted from there. He got flipped by Dan Mullen. But I wonder if he thinks right now, like, damn, I could have stayed at Ohio State and I would have probably been the man. Fat Five says he's committed to the system and staying. I'll take what these kids say with a grain of salt, bro. I done seen people say all kinds of shit. You got Chase Young up there messing with people talking about something. The plan is to come back next year. Why is the plan to come back next year? Why don't you just say, like, I'm not going to the draft. I'm going to come back next year. Like, you got to look at the wording. The plan is to come back next year. Naked Man Phil said that too. Task might be the next Joe Burrow. Talking about story, not play style. Yeah, but here's the thing. Go look at Task stats, right? His first year starting. Look at Joe Burrow's. Way different. Task gonna be balling. Task already balling. That's what I'm saying. UGA will have the number 2 or 3 recruiting class. This dude just be coming with anything. Taj, who are you talking to? Like, are you talking to yourself? Nobody's even talking about that. He's just putting shit out there like, I just got to say this. I just felt this. I feel this in my loins. I got to say it. Remember everyone saying such and such as the next Peter Ward? Yeah, I do, man. Only cats that I seen that's Peter Ward to me was Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper and Peter Ward clones. Straight up clones. And they had that number 9. Y'all know I love his internet is slow. His internet extra slow. He 2 hours behind, and we ain't even been on but for an hour and 25 minutes. Yeah, Peter Ward, come on, fam. Peter Ward and Amari Cooper, they were straight clones. Another guy was like that, though, was Mark Clayton from Oklahoma. He had that kind of start and stop, cut on a dime ability with the route transition phases, never rounding out a route or anything. The way Amari Cooper and Peter Ward run routes was just special, man. King MJ, he found a way. Let's get it, baby. Thank you for becoming a member, King MJ. Opinions on Carson Beck. I think he got a little bit of talent to him. I don't know, man. I don't know. Something. I don't know. He just doesn't excite me, to be honest with you. Man, I don't know where these guys are going, bro. I would be lying, right? I would just be guessing, right? My intuition with Jordan Birch, I don't know, man. I'd rather just hit some people up. I'm not following that shit as close as I used to. For one, you know what I'm saying? I used to be around all these kids. The 2020 guys, I've been around this business right here, so I'm not as dialed in. What's up with UGA? Coach K sending me this stuff, right? And they're touting all this Atlanta stuff. I'm looking at the picture right here. Coach K just sent me with one of the kids posing. They're posing in front of the varsity and graffiti of Atlanta, and then the Atlanta Bridge and all that, and I-85. Like, what does that got to do with Athens? I'm confused by this. This is poor marketing. This is some shit stolen straight from Coach Collins at Georgia Tech. Very confused by this. Y'all see that? Connis Miller. I want to see Chase Young come get 16 sacks in the SEC. Why would he say that shit? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The Big Ten, he plays in what some could consider the best conference in the country. And they're known for offensive line play in his conference, where you're not really known for offensive line play in the SEC. Some of these teams, even these great teams like LSU, don't have dope-ass offensive linemen. Athens 45 minutes from Atlanta. Why is he touting Peachtree Street and all this? That's weird. King MJ, didn't you say you had an iPhone, bro? University of Georgia, Atlanta is part of the state. Oh, okay. Nice. That's what you call a homer. The fuck out of here. What's that got to do with anything? Athens and ATL are two totally different lifestyles, two totally different ways of operating, bro. Don't be a homer, bro. You know that's bad marketing. You in Athens, you shouldn't. If you're a Georgia Bulldog, you shouldn't be spending your time out there and free by the varsity and shit or whatever I see on here. What does that got to do with anything? Straight homers. Yeah, Clayton was number 9 too, baby. They all was on that number 9 shit. He said, if anything, Georgia Tech should be doing that. That's what Georgia Tech does. They have their whole little they have a whole campaign built around what do they call it? I forget what the campaign. It is something Atlanta. I'm telling you, they have Big Boy in. They're touting the city of Atlanta like you wouldn't believe. It's weird to see an Athens team doing that. Why not go to the varsity in Athens? Exactly. Why you gonna go to the varsity in Atlanta? You gonna win all that. By the time you got there, food cold. You can't even call ahead. Come on, yeah, 404 something. That's the 404 maid or something like that. Man, I wish I could get Coach Collins on. I know he's probably recruiting right now. I'll just send him a text like, man, what's up with UGA with the Atlanta stuff, bro? I would love to know his thoughts on that. He's probably going to say something about that. Freddie Millins from Alabama was underrated. Freddie Millins. I don't remember him. All right, where we at? We're at 4. Oh, yeah, there you go. 404 the culture. Man, hold on. Clemson. Coach K says Clemson for Jordan Burch for the people who are asking. Can y'all see this? Y'all probably can't see this. Like, look at that. It's got I-85 and oh, that's weird. Billboards downtown, ATL all over. Y'all can't be timing me out for nothing. I know the rules around here. I didn't break one of them. Well, what they do to you, Daniel D? Why y'all timing Daniel D out? UGA biting. Oh, you saw that shit? Yeah, that is biting. That's biting hard. 404 the culture. Oh, he had too many emojis. Then you don't know the rules. Too many emojis, bro. We got to time you out. I'll be surprised if Burch goes to Clemson. He only been there one time this year. Like I said before, that's one man's opinion. I was thinking maybe like a South Carolina for Jordan Burch, but I don't know these kids, so it is what it is. I was thinking of USC for Justin Flo, but people saying Oregon and Clemson for him as well. Splendor. Who is better, Shea Patterson or Kyle Trask? Very confused by that comparison there. Why are they being compared? Kyle Trask is better than Shea Patterson, bro. But why are they being compared? Clemson insiders predicting Burch to UGA. That's hard. Jeezy's was acting like he knew nothing about UGA football, too. He said that? For real? I don't follow young Jeezy. Oh, snap, you right, Santee. Dang, I forgot about it. It was just funny you got me. Too many emojis, bro. We can't be having all them emojis here. Stacey Coley looked like he was going to be a Peter Ward type his freshman year. Then he started getting hurt. I think he needed Stacey Coley. I think was a little too thin. The thing about what makes Mari Cooper and Peter Ward was like they were very stout. Even Mark Clayton, they felt very stout to me. Stacey Coley was a little bit too thin, even though he was a great route runner and everything like that. Those guys, even when they couldn't just separate from you just within the confines of a route, they would just break tackles like a running back. That's what makes them special. Mari Cooper still doing that to this day. Y'all know Mari Cooper around weighs 225 pounds in the NFL. Look that shit up. That shit is crazy. He was jacked in college, right? But shit, he took that shit to the next level. He was about 210 in college. Jeezy is not from the ATL though, so he don't count. Where's young Jeezy from? We all have opinions on what Jordan needs, but is Kirby humble enough to self-reflect and change offensive scheme? No. But it doesn't stop us from speculating or you know what I'm saying, or throwing it up there. De'Aaron King to UCLA? That's Jeezy's from Macon? Like me? Somebody prove that Jeezy's from Macon. For real? Dang, I might have to, you know what I'm saying? I might have to give him a listen one day. He from Macon like the boy. Mactown. That's hard. Burch to UGA. UGA think everybody going to UGA. That's hard. Kirby is hard-headed just like Les Miles was on offense. It's probably even worse for Coach Smart because at least Les Miles was an offensive guy. Dude here asked me about video games. I'm up here running a very profitable company. He asking me about video games. 6'5", 275-pound outside linebacker. Hopefully, he wouldn't play outside linebacker. He would definitely be a 5 or 3 technique on that. Think about it. He's 6'5", 275. Trayvon Walker's like 6'5", what, 290? All you think about, he's 6'5", 275 now. You got to just worry about what he's going to be after being in that strength and conditioning program. They can get him to 290 if he's already 275. I don't know why people always do that. They thinking that whatever weight you are in high school is going to be the same. That's why I'm thinking something like you think Keely Ringo going to stay 205 pounds in a college strength and conditioning program to where they monitor how you eat and everything? Just the natural progression of life would signify that he's probably going to get a little bit bigger, right? So even if it's 210, a 6'2", 210-pound corner, we've not seen that from any true freshmen, right? Or true freshmen. There's no such thing as a strong side DN and shit no more, right? So this is why I'm here to educate people, right? You got all these knockoff Murfs and shit like that, right? They read they watch what people do on the internet and they think they some kind of film guru and shit like that. I'm here to tell you, stop with the strong side designations and shit like that. There's way too much trading going on in offensive football, meaning you'll have a tight end. You very rarely see people, right? If you have a strong side, Florida was doing this shit, right? They'll make you flip all the way across the formation and follow and travel with the close side of the formation. But most of the time, these teams are going to sit there, right? But you'll have a tight end and the H-back both trade to the other side of the field. And then what? Then the strong side is somewhere else. Then are you technically a strong side end when you're playing on the weak side? You have to be versatile in today's day and age. Then nobody's sitting there and just running some shit. Do you think OU secondary is a vulnerability? Hell yeah, it's a vulnerability, especially against teams that can really throw the ball down the field. The bully is 6'2", 6'1", 210. The bully also plays on the inside. Do you see? He's not an outside corner, so they're playing him on the inside like they did Minka Fitzpatrick and these guys. You're talking about an outside corner at 210 pounds? That's another guy. That's what I said about him too. I was like, well, damn, he's already this big. How much is he going to think about the bully when he's and here's the thing about the bully, though. Sometimes I think the bully could possibly lose a little bit of weight. Not Keely Ringo. He looks like he's jacked. Like he has no weight to lose. He can only gain weight, right? Like I think Tarik Stevenson can stand to lose a little bit of body fat, right? I've seen him with a belly before and everything like that. So his 210 may be a little bit different. But even then, right, where is he going to be at in 2 years, Tarik Stevenson? He could easily be 215 pounds. But there's a reason why he was played on the inside and he's going against tight ends and stuff like that, right? So I don't even know why you mentioned him. That was one of them things where he's like, I got one. Let me say this, but not actually stay to the script of what they're actually talking about. Kendall Milton plays trash comp and his top end speed looks kind of bad on his senior tape. He's definitely not a this dude said Jeezy definitely from Macon. How far behind are you, bro? We said that 5 minutes ago. I'm confused, bro. You're going to have to speed up your stream. We've already established that. 2012 13-inch MacBook delivered to truck stop. Damn, $250. I'll be a member by 5 p.m. You can't keep it. Damn, my man out here balling. That's hard. He wouldn't have got a MacBook. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Shit, I'm about to give me another MacBook now. Think about it. Kendall runs an 11-second 100-meter. Okay, Caleb Hurto. This is what Caleb Hurto does, right? The most annoyingest man in top billing history, but he's still our boy. What does that mean? What does running an 11-second 100-meter mean to you, Caleb? Is that good or bad? You literally have people running 0.7 of a second faster on your team, like Tyson Campbell and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think, if you think 11 seconds is good. All right, Daniel D, I'm about to go too, man. Y'all done tricked me into going as well. I think this thing about to cut off too, so I got to bounce. Maybe we go to the Wolves. I gotta see y'all ain't messing me up, man. He says, just saying, bro. Don't just say, like, state what you don't be a homer. If you don't learn anything from me, don't come on here being, I hate that shit, man. I hate homers. I don't like nothing about homers. I don't want to make money from homers. I want to make money with real football heads. Or I want to be, you know what I'm saying, around real football heads. What does that mean? Just to say some shit, just to say it? 11-second 100-meter, what does that mean? That's not good. That's not some shit that you brag about. This dude said 11-second 100-meter isn't that good. Most 5-star backs run a sub 11. That's what I'm saying. He said that shit because he thought it was good. He just wanted to be a homer because he's a huge Georgia fan. No, Milton doesn't face great competition. But here's the thing about that, right? You can get running backs from anything. I'm not concerned about running backs. You can get running backs from anywhere. It's be these other teams or these other positions where I need to see you face good competition. Quarterback, I need to see you face good competition. Receivers, I need to see you go against good cornerbacks. But running backs, you can find them anywhere. It's kind of a cut and dry position. Coach says that's an average 100-meter time. Kerry Vincent runs a 10:01. That's hard. That man runs a full second faster than this dude. Murf, before you go, can I ask what's the most common position swap for high school recruits, including QBs who won't be QBs in college? Position swap? Well, shit, it's usually going by like most running backs become linebackers, most wide receivers become quarterbacks. QBs, depending on the QB, could become a H-back or a tight end like your boy from Oklahoma, the Belldozer or whatever his name. Those guys are like tight ends. But then you get some of these guys like a Braxton Miller, right, who I thought should have been a running back, but you see him switching to receiver. Just depends on your agility. We know that guy had freaky agility to be able to make those spin moves and shit that he was doing as a quarterback, so they moved him to a receiver. It just really depends on the individual player. And Vincent is still the fish. He's a huckleberry, bro. Kerry Vincent is not that good to me. Kendall Milton's a 4-star now? Wait, hold up. He got moved to a 4-star? Can somebody check that for me? Murf, is Ringo going against any competition? And we already talked about that. I already said he plays poor competition. And then some dude came back and said, one time he played against Jack Miller. Jack Miller also plays poor competition. What are we talking about here? You got some of these, like I said, these people in these certain places in the country, week in and week out, they're going against teams with 5 and 10 high Division I players in it. That's what I judge competition by, not about somebody because you played against one other guy that was a good player. One guy. What's this composite? That's what I want to know. We only go by composite. Or Coach K turns you to an offensive lineman? Yeah, he does. He's going to make Kendall Milton an offensive lineman. Russell Shepard was a 5-star QB and never played QB in college. He's still in the league. Yep, as a receiver. He had that freaky athleticism. Tank Bisbee is a 5-star now. Oh, it's composite. We're only going by the composite. You're talking to someone in the business. If it's not a composite, I can't recognize it. You can't handpick some shit to make you feel good about yourself. You got to go by the composite. That's a combination of all the sites together. I was born in Macon, man, but I'm not here to talk about my personal life. So I did not go to school in Macon. I was born in Macon. But no, this is not about Murf and personal life with strangers on the internet. He got demoted to a 4-star early on in the season, 24/7 composite. Vincent is a better safety. I think he would be a pretty good safety. He'd be turning down the funk, though. I don't think Kerry Vincent want that funk on a running back coming on the alley, though, as a safety. He's a number 37 ranked running back. It is a composite. What are we talking about? What's the composite? Is he you're trying to say that is Tank a 5-star composite? I'm going to have to stop asking and just, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to have to do it myself, man. Could UGA still run the ball with the Kendal Briles offense? I'm very confused by that. This dude just stepped on the scene. I literally spent a whole 5 minutes explaining that Kendal Briles is a spread to run guy. Name some, just go look at his. That's what they do. They run the ball. That's what he does. They've been always known for running the ball. They have some crazy ass ways to run the ball out of different formations. Ringo's lateral mobility relative to straight line speed, ain't it? Nah, he's a straight line freak, right? But turning like that, especially when you get bigger and there's little shiftier guys, and maybe I don't know. But you just never know how shit works out, man. Maybe he'll be fine in that area, but I don't know. But these are the same people that were absolutely going crazy over Tyson Campbell as well. And if Tyson Campbell does anything, they go ham. But this computer tripping, bro. I don't need to be messing with this computer. Definitely got to get another one. People be deleting their messages because they're scared of my reaction. No, I think some of the people just, they say some shit and it probably gets answered, or they see people, or they see someone already say it. So it's no use to repeat it or have me repeat it. Just like you just repeated it. Just like you just retracted your own statement. I'm confused by that. He just talked about people retracting their own shit. Delpit got a Lifetime Achievement Award. That's hard. Whose defense do you think is the most suspect that's in the college playoffs? The most suspect? Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think any of them are just suspect. I think they all have some pretty good defenses. If I had to pick the most suspect, it would be LSU's defense. I think LSU's defense is the most suspect, right? It got popping off of Georgia's weak-ass offense, a weak-ass Arkansas offense, and then a Texas A&M the week after Georgia when they was just banging up into each other and shit like that. They were ripe for the picking. But before that, man, they've had some really suspect moments. You haven't really seen, outside of the Kansas State game, you didn't really see too many suspect moments from Oklahoma's. And Clemson's defense is nothing suspect about that. And Ohio State's defense, nothing suspect about that as well, at least from what we've seen. So maybe the ramp up in competition will expose some shit that we don't know. But from what we've just seen, the most suspect defense you would have to say would be LSU's. Troll poster removes by the mod. Damn, that's hard. Saban Jr. got deleted. I think Delpit was great last year. This year was mine. I think it was Grad City. He was the best player in college football, right? Go look at the top billing. Type in top billing Grant Delpit. Search that in YouTube. But yeah, this year. But he's bringing it in towards the end, right? Even though the competition was suspect towards the end, it's all good. Was you surprised by Delpit winning the Thorpe? He won the Thorpe Award? Wait, what? No. He won the Thorpe? When OU defense has given up points was because Jalen turned the ball over in terrible spots. Yeah, their defense is very active and very physical, man. I think people are going to learn something about I cannot believe this dude won the Thorpe Award. That doesn't make sense to me. That's what you call about people watching YouTube and they saw me say he was the best defensive player in the country. That's the only way he could have won that shit. I updated my shit and I'm just like, he's not having as good a year. He's having, you know what I'm saying? You could tell something's wrong with him. He's the most talented still, but what he's actually doing on the field, you can't say that it was Thorpe Awardish. But yeah, now I get what you're saying about the Lifetime Achievement Award. Okudah should have won. From what? Because he had a pick against Nebraska that was thrown right to him. A couple of picks that were thrown right to him. People will go by whatever is popular. So if they're watching some national game and somebody does some shit, they'll be like, oh, you can't tell me Okudah even had a better year than like Derek Stingley. J.R. Reed? Nah, J.R. Reed didn't have as good a year as he had last year either. I don't think J.R. Reed has as good a year as he had last year, to be honest with you. Okudah ain't seen no talent to look bad. He said he was hurt and it was a new position he was learning. Oh, okay. Miles Menace back smoking again, bro. I done said 50 million times that I thought Delpit was hurt. I don't know why you guys can't remember what I say from stream to stream. And you know people have asked me about, he's only the most popular, one of the top 10 most popular players in the country. So people have asked me about him a million times. I said that I thought he was injured. I thought he was playing. He clearly was playing injured because he missed some time, right? He missed the game. And I thought that was impacting him because I know what he can do as a player ever since I saw him. I had him on my podcast. Remember I did the content? He was on my podcast when he was in high school. I targeted that dude. I knew he was going to be the truth. Stingley did not deserve the award either. No, I'm saying I would give it to Stingley over Okudah, but it's hard to say that who just deserved the award, like who really stood out in that manner. Because they're really going to go by name value if nobody's really standing out. I'm pretty sure they wanted to give this shit to like C.J. Henderson or somebody like that, right? He didn't have as good a year either. A lot of these guys that you thought were going to ball out didn't have as good of years. They would have had to have been creative, maybe if they called Isaiah Simmons some type of safety or something like that. But other than that, man, who really stood out, right? You would just have to go by if nobody's standing out, you're going to have to go by name value. So I'm not totally mad about them with that. But I don't think he deserved it. At least not this year. Yeah, I got you with the career achievement stuff. I understood when you said that. Too many emojis. And it's that same exact dude who's being annoying last stream, too, who was saying, like, George Pickens, the greatest prospect of all time and shit like that. Come on, fam, with all the emojis, bro. We're trying to talk football here. There's no way in hell that if you use a bunch of emojis when a bunch of dudes are talking football, you would probably walk into a barbershop and be like, ooh, 3 snaps in a Z formation. That's what you would do. That's akin to doing that to me. Who gonna have the best coaching plan to win the championship, Murf? Shit, probably Dabo Swinney, right? Yeah, Georgia do. I don't know what's the state of Georgia, man. Y'all be embarrassing us, man, with all these emojis. Antoine Winfield Jr. from Minnesota. That's hard. Isaiah Crowell had insane hype, but you mean insane hype? HYPE? I think Fulton is so slept on he gets overlooked. Fulton has some moments though where like he doesn't do that well to me too. Like he had some moments in the Florida game where I was like, man, they busting Christian Fulton's ass, but he's pretty good. All right, is that it? Fulton gives up on plays for some reason. He was hurt too at the beginning of the year, right? I think he got hurt in the Texas game, so I'm not sure about the ramifications from that. How do you think Mo Hampton will be next year? I think he's going to be good. I like Maurice Hampton. I think he's going to be good. Would y'all move Cardell Flott out right to where Fulton is, or are you gonna? I know y'all gonna want Ricks to be there. Ricks and Stingley. That's gonna be y'all's wet dream. People think these stars mean anything when they get into college. Yeah, that's why they be going ham, man. People be going ham off recruiting way too much. I can only imagine if dudes was going ham off of like Amir Speed and Latavius Brini and all these guys and shit like that. And I'm like, damn, why you ain't still going ham for them? Jaden Hunter and D'Angelo Gibbs and Otis Reese will start at UGA next year. I'm not even sure about that, man. Are you so sure that he'll start at UGA next year? Because shit, he didn't even get to come in, right? I wonder why they didn't see if he could cover Clyde Edwards-Hilaire opposed to Lewis Seen. Less Jermaine Johnson, more Adam Anderson. Jermaine Johnson's supposed to be a one-and-done guy, right? So he's not even supposed to be on the team next year, right? Because they said that he was some type of uber freak. He didn't look like an uber freak to me. Ricks won't step in like Stingley did. He may have to, right? Well, no, you got a bunch of Jay Ward and these guys. So you got Jay Ward. Who was the other cornerback? Jay Ward, Cardell. Oh yeah, Jay Ward, Cardell Flott, and Derek Stingley. No, I'm not going to say anybody's as talented as Stingley. Y'all see what I said about Stingley when he came out, right? Everybody, all these LSU fans be getting on me about some shit, but then when I do some shit, they don't, you know what I'm saying, go back. They don't go back with it. What did I say about, what did I do? I remember doing the Stingley before the season. Yes, we know Maurice Hampton is a safety, bro. What are you talking about? John Turner, he be gone too, I think, sometimes. He be drinking early. Zero intel on Jay Ward. Yeah, I got intel on Jay Ward, right? He played at Colquitt County, so I got to see him play against Grayson a couple of times, Coach K's team. Jay Ward is a guy that I did not think that a team like LSU would take, to be honest with you. He did look to me more like a Kentucky guy, right? And you know who got Jay Ward to LSU? Coach K. Asked him for a guy. Coach O asked him for a cornerback and what he thought about, and he had just played them. He was like, "Man, you should check out this kid from Colquitt County. Name is Jay Ward, and he was committed to Kentucky." So this was in May. I did this Stingley thing in May, so that's why you guys weren't here, because y'all were fans of different teams then. Y'all weren't fans of LSU at that time. So all you Johnny-come-latelys are coming in here. Boom, there you go. Ray Darius could be a Greedy Williams type. Yeah, Ray Darius. I forgot about Ray Darius. Ray Darius Jones, right? This is LSU Frost cornerback Stingley, SEC's best prospect ever. It says May 30th. I'm sorry, May 30th. All you LSU fans up in here and shit like that, I can just rattle off a whole bunch of shit that I did on LSU in the offseason. Where we at? Where we at with a thumbs up, man? That's it, 141? I'm looking live now. 141, what are we doing? Where we at? It's the thumbs up, man. It was at 148. I'm just looked on the internet. Let's go. Let's get it. Get the thumbs up popping, baby. Everybody hating. Let me know if you hit the thumbs up button. I'm looking at me on the internet. 223. All right. Let's go. Get it up, says Jay's Way. He got to pause that. He telling men to get it up. Get it up. Let's go. Looking at me, looking at myself doing the thumbs up. This is hard. All right, y'all. 2 more minutes. Even though I said I was only going to be on here for 30 minutes. Now we've been here for 2 hours. You know, I'm Splendor for Derek Stingley, but Jared Jefferson killed him. Man, admitted his splendor. We have no problem with people who have splendor in their tanks, right? We're an equal opportunity employer. We just don't like the people who have splendor in their tanks and they don't think they have splendor in their tanks. We already know you have it, Mal. Your take on Eric Gilbert, if you haven't spoke on it already. I'm very confused by that. I like Eric Gilbert. I need to talk about. I got this content on the site, man. Why can't people just actually look at the channel and look at the content on the channel? I do film studies. Come on, man. You don't got to ask me questions. You already really know what I think about these guys in depth because I really go in on the film studies. All right, y'all. Is that it? He says Nolan Smith will play better next year. Hopefully, for sure. He's a true freshman, so everybody's got a chance to get better. Hey, y'all ain't lying, man. This dude setup do look hard. I'm looking at it on the internet. It's hard. But all right, y'all, man. Completely appreciate it, man. I might be back tomorrow. You just never know, whatever like that, man. Got to come and talk to the people. I enjoy talking to the people, even if I spaz out on you or whatever like that. It's all love, baby. It's just being in the moment. Don't be sensitive. Don't be soft or whatever like that. I told you 50 million times. It's like in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Shit get heated in the barbershop. Don't nobody be sitting up there getting on crying, going around. People, these dudes be coming, probably running around to the internet. Be like, Murf yelled at me, man. Come on, don't be giving. I'll yell at you or whatever like that. Take it like a man. Take it like a man. But other than that, man, your boy gonna have to be out, man. Let me know, you know what I'm saying, after your boy Juggler Joe win that Heisman tonight, man. Everybody do a salute, right? For the man who said, what did I say about Joe Burrow? Let's go on the Joe Burrow thing. Type in top billing Joe Burrow. Let's see what I got on Joe Burrow. Too much soy in their diet. That's hard. I had one. This one right here. This is one right here. So it was 8 months ago. 8 months ago. Better not sleep on Joe Burrow. 8 months ago. Where were these people at 8 months ago with this LSU stuff? They were Alabama fans at the time. Now they're LSU fans. Boom. There you go. Jalen has the Heisman locked in. Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts wins the Heisman, you know I'm about to go super ham. I doubt he wins the Heisman, though, man. It's all good, though. Not enough publicity, right? For sure. All right, y'all. Once again, man, thank you for a great stream. Holla at your boy. Top Billin to ya.